All right, we're Beer Friends on location. We're here in Cape Cod Beer Company up in Hyannis.
Yeah.
But what township is it?
It's Hyannis.
Town of Barnstable.
Hyannis and Barnstable.
All right.
Village of Hyannis, town of Barnstable.
All
Right
right.
in the middle of the Cape.
And we're here with one of the founding members, Beth.
Marcus.
She gave a great tour here in this wonderful but small brewery where they produce all of their. Where? There we go. And we just enjoyed a few samples, and we're here to just talk about the history and where hopefully you're going, and talk about some of the one barrel series.
Yeah, one barrel.
It's one barrel series.
Started out as the one barrel series, and we realized that one barrel wasn't enough. So now it's the two barrel series.
It's the two barrel
It
series.
was kind of a takeoff on the 100 barrel series that another local brewery does.
I don't know.
Maybe a little bit. There was a guy on the tour that had a big marketing shirt on, so he was a big fan. But no, we started out doing just one-off beers, just kind of things in the middle of the winter. Whenever we release a seasonal, pretty much 2 days after we release the seasonal, so the day after summer came out, somebody will come in and go, "What's the next beer?" And so people are always looking for the next thing. In the winter, frequently we'll try to do kind of brand extensions of the beers we have. So we'll either age them, add things to them, basically to make it interesting for people so that there is something new all the time. A lot of times in the middle of the winter we end up doing big construction projects, so there's not a lot of capacity to brew whole new batches of beer. I don't know that we didn't do anything really major last year, so that's when we took on our milk stout, the Stargazer Stout. I don't know about this year. There's been rumor of a Pilsner, and they're doing a special beer. We have yet to announce it for 11/11/11. We're having a big party. It's a Friday night. It happens to be my birthday. And when I said, "Hey, it's my birthday, let's have a party," nobody objected. And then I said, "Hey, let's have a special beer for my party." So
Birthday beer?
we haven't really put a name around it. We're a little lackadaisical on the marketing thing, So
Can you tell us style?
I don't think they've picked anything. At one point there was talk about something really crazy and crazy yeast, and we don't do a lot of weird stuff like that. And so I think there's some debate amongst the production crew. At one point there was talk about a brown ale, maybe Buster's brown ale, named after our dog.
The dog, the guard dog.
But I don't know. So it's it's still up in the air.
Well,
Stay tuned.
Definitely keep posted on that. You get to be like specialty beers a lot. Hence this weekend was picked for the Christmas in July, which is an oak aged Old Man Winter, which is a winter strong.
Yes. Yep.
I've had the Old Man Winter. I've had the regular one. I don't know if you
I have not. But I had a batch of the Christmas in July last year, and then also had the Cape Cod Red, which was aged in bourbon barrels.
Yep. We've done a bourbon barrel red before. We've done an oak aged red before.
Ooh.
It depends on, it depends. Some of them, there's a couple Jack Daniel's barrels that are hanging around here, so we've done some things in those. They're not being used anymore. There is up there a barrel from Turo Vineyards, which is a local winery. That was the Portofino beer we did. We did it between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, that one.
So it was porter aged in a low barrel, and they're going to use that barrel again. It's one of the reasons why, I don't know if you heard me during the tour, I said we might be making the porter a little earlier this year because they want to get the beer aging. They didn't want to age it all summer because we didn't have space for the barrel.
Now here's the question for age. I love I love age. It came out big last year. A lot of different breweries doing different age stuff, different wines, bourbon,
Rum barrels, whiskey barrels,
just oak barrel. For the Christmas in July last year, and I mean this year, it seemed very popular, so I assumed it was smart to do it again. But did it come out? Did you guys just have an extra Old Man Winter? Was this a planned thing? Was there just like, well, we got this barrel in this beer, or were you guys like, I really want to try? I think this.
Well, it's a combination of things. We love Old Man Winter. It's one of our favorite beers. We never want to run up too early. And then it's always this thing about, do you make one more batch? And then, are you going to be drinking Old Man Winter in July kind of thing? So I'm not exactly sure if there was a particular extra batch, but that's usually what happens. It's like, oh, well, we'll make another batch. If we have extra, we can always do this. The big thing is that we do all these specialty beers basically between like October and May. And all the summer folk complain. You never have a beer for us. I'm never here in time. I live in Ohio. I'm not coming to the Cape. What about me? Kind of thing. And our goal is to never produce a beer that causes anybody to have to stand in line and get a ticket. That's not our goal. That's why when we did the 1 barrel, we went to a 2 barrel, because we don't want people to be denied.
Yeah.
We'll have it for a reasonable amount of time. And so people were complaining, and we were like, okay, can we reasonably do this? Can we reasonably do this in the middle of the summer? And it's hard, because it's all hand bottled, hand labeled. We actually were able to, we have a manual label of these. Last year they were all literally, like this. Hand capped, the whole 9 yards. So we just decided that we would try to do it. It was successful. It wasn't uberly complicated for our staff. This time of year, this week, next week, the second week in August, we'll be flooded. And every drop of beer will be. So we're hoping this year will be the first year that we don't actually run out of beer. I need one. But we have in the past where we have to, you have to fill the channel, you have to get it out to the package stores and the draft lines, and then once we do that, sometimes it will be out of a particular brand or something in these weeks where you come in, you get your gallery filled, and we're like, sorry. But this year we're feeling pretty good about it.
That's good. That's amazing. Busy weeks.
Yeah.
Tough to
Well, and you can't build your capacity to meet the 3 biggest weeks of the year, because you can't afford to. We can't have enough tanks to do that. So we just have to plan it. So, but anyway, so it was fun to do something that the summer folk can, the tourist crowd, the people that come to business in the summer can appreciate, and not complain that we don't have this beer or that beer.